the different counties, and they've been telling us a couple of things, including the back to school rush. They've also been covering the Mau eviction phase 2. They've also been telling us a little about the elections that are set to happen, that is Kibra elections. And of course, we'll definitely be giving you a feel of what to expect later on throughout the day. So for now, we're taking you to the next reporter, Samuel.
Absolutely. So we've got two. We've got Baraka Karama, who's standing by in Kisumu, and for also in just a short while we shall be crossing over to Jubilee headquarters. So for now, we bring in Baraka. All right. So we've got a meteorological department who is having a press briefing this day on a seasonal forecast for the periods October, November and December. So in case you're planning your summer and your holiday, let's listen in to what is being said.
Mianzo wa wiki ya pili na ya tatu katika mwezi wa Oktoba, na kikomo ama mvua itatokomea katika wiki ya pili na ya tatu katika mwezi wa Disemba. Katika kaunti zilizoko kaskazini magharibi kama vile Turkana na Samburu, mianzo tunatarajia wiki ya tatu na ya nne katika mwezi wa Oktoba, na kikomo kuanzia wiki ya 4 ya mwezi wa Novemba kuelekea hadi wiki ya kwanza ya mwezi wa Disemba mwaka huu. Kaunti za kaskazini mashariki kama vile Mandera, Wajir, Garissa na Marsabit tunatarajia mianzo ya mvua katika wiki ya 3 na ya 4 katika mwezi wa Oktoba, na kikomo kinatarajiwa kuanzia wiki ya 4 ya mwezi wa Novemba hadi wiki ya kwanza ya mwezi wa Disemba. Kusini mwa Kenya na maeneo ya karibia pwani kama vile Taita Taveta, Makueni, Kisumu, Tana River na pia Kajiado tunatarajia mianzo katika wiki ya 4 mwezi wa Oktoba na kuelekea wiki ya kwanza ya mwezi wa Novemba.
All right, of course, that is the meteorological department that are having a briefing and are giving us the forecast for the next 3 months starting October. And of course, for now, we're also going to be taking you through the other stories, and there we go. That is McDonald Mariga on screen right now. And Samuel, maybe you can tell us what to expect with that particular story.
Let's listen in.
Bado kuna hizo vitu kwa sababu nilikuwa na issue ati utakuwa mara umepeana achukua kikombe mara unapeana inaitwa nini just papers kama no mimi na kila kitu ndio maana niko hapa sasa kama singe wazi ona hii kitu maybe inaenda kumtafia na Unafikiri kuna influence fulani ndio imekufanya ukasimama kwa? No, hakuna influence. Ni mimi mwenyewe kitu nimedecide na my family na tukajaribu. That's why tuko hapa. You have unfair advantage over other aspirants. No, I think we are the nini hapo nomination, so I think they'll decide. Yeah, and ule atakuwa chosen to support fully. Yeah. So football moja kabisa. You don't give a damn. Sasa.
Right, of course, that is McDonald Mariga, who is the aspirant, and interviews will kickstart, and after which we'll be finding out which candidates will go through, and of course on November 7th, when the by-election is set to be held.
Absolutely. Jubilee, they are choosing to take a twist from what ODM has chosen to do, but we'll keep tabs with this story, and we shall get to know exactly what will be happening in as far as the upcoming Kibra by-election is concerned. But for now, we take you back to Baraka Karama, who's joining us live from Kisumu County. Baraka, what do you have for us as of now?
Samuel, right now I'm in one of the bases for the Bunge La Wananchi in Kisumu, just to try and get reactions and views, opinions from a cross-section of the leadership of this particular area as far as that government issue between the building of registration versus the proposal is concerned. Remember, yesterday we had the Deputy President William Ruto talking tough saying that the BBI, of course, is meant to favor such politicians as a way of making them choose to power.
And we apologize for that sound quality. We shall be getting back to Baraka Karama in the course of this hour for an update from his end. Right about now, let's listen in to the press briefing that is currently ongoing from the Kenya Meteorological Department headquarters right here in Nairobi. It's all about the seasonal forecast for the periods of October to December this year. So let's listen in to what's happening.
Sheria kwamba tungependa ipate kiwango cha misitu cha 10% kufikia mwaka wa 2022. Katika sekta ya majanga na husika katika maeneo ya magharibi mwa nchi ambako mvua nyingi zaidi ya wastani inatarajiwa, huenda kukawa na mvua inayoandamana na radi katika maeneo hasa kama vile Kisumu, Kisii, Kakamega na Bungoma, na pia hali ya mafuriko huenda ikaibuka katika maeneo hayo. Kwa hivyo wakazi katika maeneo hayo wanaombwa kwa uangalifu. Katika sekta ya afya, kuna maeneo ambayo ni ya chini na ambayo huenda maji yakawa yametanda katika maeneo yale, na huenda kwa na mkurupuko labda wa magonjwa na mambo kama yale, na pia kule kuwepo kwa maradhi kama masuala ambayo yanahusika na malaria. Kwa hivyo maeneo hayo yanafaa yawe na uangalifu. Katika sekta ya usafiri,
All right, of course, that's live from the Meteorological Department headquarters, where they're giving us an update on what to expect in the months of October to December. They're also having an analysis on the performance, that is the past two seasons, ranging from March onwards, and of course the other season from June to August. So yes, we'll definitely be having more information as soon as we get it right here on K24 Daily Brief. For now, let's take you directly to our reporter Baraka Karama, who is in Kisumu, and he's going to be giving us the latest regarding what's happening where he is. Good morning, Baraka Karama. What do you have for us?
Shiksha, like I said earlier, I'm in one of the bases for Bunge la Wananchi here in Kisumu, just to try and get views and details from a cross-section of the leadership of this particular area as far as that particular issue between the BBI and Punguza Mizigo is concerned. Remember, yesterday we had the Deputy President William Ruto saying that the BBI, of course, is meant to favor a section of politicians as a way of making them cruise to power. And of course, we also had sentiments from the party leader for the ODM, who was in Nyanza over the weekend. And of course, he called upon the members of the county assembly to ensure that they reject the Punguza Mizigo amendment bill, saying that of course BBI is meant to unite Kenyans. So that of course has elicited mixed reactions, and right now, like I mentioned, I'm in one of the bases for the Bunge la Wananchi, and I'm joined by the patron for the Bunge la Wananchi for the entire region, just to try and get his views and details as to what he thinks about the sentiments by the Deputy President William Ruto, and of course what Raila say, and of course his stand as far as the BBI and the Punguza Mizigo amendment bill is concerned. Just welcome to the set. Just move. Of course, first, as the patron for the Bunge la Wananchi, what is your take? We saw the Deputy President William Ruto saying that BBI is meant to favor some a clique of politicians, and of course we've also seen the party leader for ODM saying that the Punguza Mizigo bill should be rejected.
Kwanza mimi naitwa Kotina, mimi ni patron katika hii bunge. Kwanza mimi nataka kusema hivi kwa Wakenya. Kwanza multiparty imeingia katika nchi yetu ya Kenya, imeletwa na Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. Kwanza baada ya kuleta mabadiliko katika Kenya.
Okay, Kotina, tuambie maoni yako kuhusu maoni ya Raila pamoja na maoni ya Ruto.
Maoni ya Ruto, mimi nataka kusema Ruto is right kwa sababu Kenya imeletwa multi-party. Ruto pia vile nasungumusa kama Mkenya. Ruto pia natakekana uiongoze nchi hii kama wengine. Iko wengine pia imefanya kazi miaka nenda rudi. Wakati huu ni wakati kwa sababu nasungumusa kwa sababu rais wetu wa Jamhuri ya Kenya Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta pia imemaliza kipindi chake. Na wakati siasa imeanza katika Kenya, alianza imeletwa mabadiliko, kila mtu nafanya miaka 10 naenda. Mwingine pia miaka 10 naenda.
Sasa wewe maoni yako kuhusu punguze mizigo na ile tume ya BBI?
Hiyo ni maoni ya Ruto. Na Mheshimiwa Raila pia Odinga pia natafuta yake. Wakati huu Raila hajasema naenda kusimama president. Bado hajasema, lakini kama angesema, kwa sababu kila siku kama yeye nataka kusimama, nasema mapema. Sisi naanza kujiandaa. Lakini saa hii yule ambaye amesema nimesimama Mheshimiwa Ruto ndio imejua imefanya nini, nimesimama. Kama Raila pia imesema hajasema, siwezi kusema lakini hajasema. Wengine ndio nimesunguka Kenya kama nasema yeye ndio nasimama. Lakini wakati huu Ruto ndio nasema nataka kuwa president ya Jamhuri ya nchi ya Kenya. Sasa mimi nataka kusema hivi. Ruto pia usunguke Kenya, ukije Kisumu, uenda kila mali kuja kuongea na Wakenya, utafuta yake. Na Mheshimiwa Raila pia kama nataka pia ataona kama vijibwaga katika uwanja ndio ataweza kusungumza juu yake. Mimi nataka kusema namna hivyo. Mimi naomba Ruto aje hapa Kisumu na kutana sisi, nikae naye kama wajambali wa siasa in Kisumu, nione mambo yake iko namna gani. Natafuta ama naongea tu.
Well, a sentiment from the patron. He calls himself the patron for the Bunge la Wananchi here in Kisumu, of course, giving us what he thinks about the ongoing debate between the BBI and Punguza Mizigo. Like he mentioned, he welcomes all the political leaders to visit this particular region. Remember, this region is the political backyard of the ODM party leader Raila Odinga, who of course enjoys a massive following in this particular region. And it will be interesting to see how the politics of BBI versus Punguza Mizigo plays out in this particular region. Remember, yesterday, on Saturday, while addressing a gathering at the Ogunja Trading Center, of course, Raila reiterated his stand, saying that the people of this particular region and the assemblies that form the assemblies within his political backyard should reject the Punguza Mizigo amendment bill. So that's it. We'll be taking more views and reactions as far as that particular issue is concerned. But before I go, there's one gentleman here. Just give us, just come. Just your brief statements we've heard from the patron. What is your take about the Punguza Mizigo versus BBI?
The Punguza Mzigo initiative, the Punguza Mzigo, we don't like it because some of our views were not taken some of our views were not picked for the youths. I want to talk to fellow Kenyan youths to wait for the Building Bridges initiative being led by the President of the Republic of Kenya and Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga. After that, it will be brought to public for interrogation. That is when we will know what the BBI contains. As for now, we are still waiting for the BBI and what it contains because we know they are writing their report. That was we know. On issues to do with the Punguza Mzigo is talking about reducing the seats, especially the parliamentary seats. That is not going to solve the problem of Kenyans. What is going to solve the problem of Kenyans is the issue of reducing wastage and curbing corruption that we are not seeing the Kuro Quarter-led team doing. In 2007-2008, we had a bloated government. Almost 40 ministers, 40 assistant ministers, 40 PS. But Kenyans pushed on. So the problem is not leadership. The problem is about wastage. So reducing the number of MPs is not going to solve our problem. What we want we are waiting for the Building Bridges Initiative being led by Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga and His Excellency the President Uhuru Kenyatta. After that, as Kenyan youths will interrogate the document, then it will culminate into the referendum question, then we'll go for a referendum. Okay, we support the Prime Minister, we support the initiative that is undertaking now, we support the BBI. And I want to call upon the Kenyan youth, especially people living in Kisumu, to wait for BBI. Okay, thank you. Hey.
Well, you've heard, of course, different opinions in this particular bunge la wananchi base. Of course, one of them supporting the Punguza Mizigo and the other, of course, supporting the BBI. Like I mentioned, remember, 2 weeks ago, the party leader for the Third Way Alliance was here in Kisumu to popularize the amendment bill. And of course, he said that he's trying to book an appointment with the members of the county assembly in Kisumu just to try and present that particular bill here at the assembly. And last week also we also saw the Siaya County Assembly rejecting that particular bill. And of course it had a backup from the party leadership of the ODM led by Raila Odinga, who said who called upon various county assemblies to reject that particular bill. So we'll be getting more views and reactions, and of course we'll be making a follow-up as to what will unfold after that, going by the sentiments that was issued yesterday by the Deputy President William Ruto. Back to you.
For that update, of course, from Kisumu County. Now, remember, we have been covering quite a few topics, and right now moving on to what's making headlines in the Department of Climate and Weather. So we'll be taking you to the Meteorological Department headquarters, where they're giving us a forecast of what to expect from the months of October all the way until December. And of course, with the short rains that are supposed to be coming up. So we'll be finding out what is happening, whether we'll be expecting rain or not. Let's listen in.
That does not mean there is inconsistency. But however, as I know you talked about recently, and probably I will want to think, or I will want to assume that you are talking of like what happened the other time, that sometimes a prediction, you can make a prediction using the available tools. We have the tools, the models are there, he showed models, but we have things in nature which are controlled by nature that sometimes is very difficult to predict or to know when they are going to happen. But you can only monitor them when they happen. Like, for example, the past when we had forecasted and a tropical cyclone came and it distracted. It's normally very difficult. Right now, globally, it's very difficult to predict the occurrence of a tropical cyclone. But however, you can always monitor. So the inconsistency we are talking about, probably we should be talking about uncertainties or the rate of failure. For me, going with what we have given, the statement that off late is inconsistent is not really a fact, because I think you are talking of just an event which happens. And of course, as I said, with the prediction, there is that uncertainty. There is a chance of failure. Whether it is 1 in 10 times, there is a chance of failure.
Thank you very much. Now that there are no more questions, you have something to add? Oh, sorry, I thought you were asking. And you're the forecast.
Thank you. I'm Joseph Kagenyi. I'm a trainer here. Now, based on the statement of the forecast, Mr. Chansu started and saying that currently we have about 21 counties that are suffering drought. I think you need to get the positive side now, that from this forecast, we are looking at a season where that the drought that is existing will minimize. That is for the livestock farmers and people who are coming from areas that are suffering. Like I come from Kajiado. I have good news to hear that there is an enhanced amount of rainfall coming. So it's not always that, even if it may not reach what I would have expected, the fact that I am informed that there is an improvement, it is good news. I can go ahead and buy more cows and more goat, because there will be enough food for them. Thank you.
And of course, that's at the Kenya Meteorological Department headquarters. And yes, good news for all, because there's an improvement in the rain that has obviously poured this year. So we have seen more rain as compared to last year, which is good news for all. And you can definitely go ahead and buy your cows as well.
Okay, sure thing. But then let's cross over to Uasin Gishu County, Eldoret to be precise, and bring in our reporter Timothy Simwa with an update on the back-to-school rush as it is currently in Eldoret. Thank you so much for joining us, Timothy. Kindly bring us up to speed with this update from your end.
Yeah, well, good morning to you, Sam and Shiksha. Like the rest of the country, Sam, there is a flurry of activities within Eldoret town. Of course, Kenyans, especially parents and their students and pupils, are having woken up to the official opening of Term 3. Of course, you would expect this kind of activities. But some, of course, there's a complaint from part of the parents we've been able to interact with, saying that I know the opening for third term is coming at a time when every other learning institution is opening. We are talking in terms of primary schools, secondary schools, tertiary, and even universities. So this has compounded the problem. You go to banks, there are very long queues. This is the main terminus in Eldoret town. There are so many people around here who are trying to, rush and make sure that they're getting to school in time. Of course, parents accompanied by the students. So Sam, just in a nutshell, allow me to bring in one or two parents who are going to just to tell us experience how the ordeal has been. Na utazungumza kwa lugha ambayo utapenda, either in Kiswahili or English. So far, when you woke up in the morning, the whole process of getting your child back to school, how has it been? Imekuwaje?
Siku ya leo imekuwa cumbersome sana. Kuamka kufungua shule mara moja ndio imekuwa shida. Universities inafungua, primary schools inafungua, secondary schools inafungua. Sasa hata process hata hapa kwa stage peke yake ni stress. Fares wamehike, shule banks peke yake network inapotea. We've been there for more than 3 hours trying to pay school fees. So kidogo naona kama CS Matiang'i next time aone kama tutafungua shule kama the way we did the previous terms. It was good. Primary schools wanafungua a week before, secondary schools na pia university wapange hivyo. Kama ingekuwa shughuli ya census nafikiri ilikuwa imejipanga vizuri. Lakini census iliisha on time. So by Thursday last week wangesema ama waseme throughout this week waseme hata pia wangesongesha exams instead ya kwenda for 5 weeks vile wamechukua wiki yetu moja, wasongeshe tena shule sifunge a week after. Yes, so that KCPE yanse tarehe 15 huko na KCSE extend mpaka December huko. Asante
sana mama. Labda mzee wangu unaweza kuniambia tu kwa upande wako ulipoenda leo kwenye benki ama kwenye foleni za kwenye bookshops, imekuwaje shughuli ya kumrudisha mwanao shule ama kulipa karo?
There's a jam everywhere in the banks. I've been in the bank for the last 3 hours. The ATMs have jammed. No, you are just there. Nothing is happening. We are with the kids. We'll take them back home. Now, what the time imefika karibu saa 6 and they have to reach school in time. Some are going far. I think this thing somebody should do something about it.
Perhaps how far are your children supposed to travel? Kutoka hapa mpaka wapi, inachukua masaa mangapi?
I have children going to Kapolong, which is about 3 hours or 4 hours. Others to Nakuru, and they are still here. I'm still there. So I don't know. We are still there. And line ya bank mrefu sana, about a kilometer. We are just there. Now what are you going to do? So maybe next time they should do something about it. Bus start imejam kila pahali, hata tukitoka huko wapande gari imejaa. Fares siko juu.
Asante sana. Labda niweze kupata maoni tu ya mzee mwingine hapa. Mzee, hali ya kurudisha watoto shule imekuwaje?
Tangu asubuhi kutoka leo, mimi niliamka saa 11 kutoka upande wa ziwa, na ilikuwa about 2 kilometers tukaanza kufuta sababu hakuna magari. So from the way there is a lot of queuing along the highway. Hakuna hata nafasi ya gari, wamehike the fares ambao ilikuwa hata ni vigumu sana kwa watu kupata nafasi. Sasa kutoka all the way nimechukua about 5 hours from the banks. Hakuna nafasi ya kuingia kwa banks. Haswa hata ukiangalia nyuma upande wangu hapa kuna magari mingi ambayo sasa iko full. Sasa next time we ask Matiang'i to extend wakati wa nini kama kama 1 week hivi ili watoto tupate nafasi ya kuingia nini.
Asante. Labda tu kwa sekunde mbili, ni kweli mmeongeza bei ya magari?
Sisi kwa upande yetu hatujaongeza fare from Kapcherop mpaka Eldoret pato ni 300 na from Kajiboro to Eldoret pato ni 250. Hatujapandisha fare. Tunaambia tu madereva wote wakuwa waangalifu kwa njiani, wanafunzi wetu wafika shule kwa usalama. Asanteni sana.
Sam, those were some of the comments you've been able to hear from parents in Eldoret, of course, who are grappling with the whole process of getting their children back to school, of course, saying that the rush is real, coming from home, going to the banks to pay school fees, and even securing transport to make sure that their children get to school in time has become kind of a big deal for them, and they're hoping that maybe by the end of business today, everything will have been settled. Back to you, Sam.
Timothy Simwa for that update live from Eldoret, and it is proper to note that the drivers say they haven't increased the fare. However, be vigilant, be careful as you transport these kids back to school.
All right, of course, for now, that's all we have. We'll be right back after this short break. We've got a lot lined up for you in just a few minutes.